What's up, YouTube? I'm Everett. This is EvTV, Sports Card Investing Made Easy. Now, what you guys are looking at is actually my personal collection of Bam Adebayo rookie cards. And these are cards that I've bought in the last month. I think I started buying October 30th with that fresh paint autograph that you see down there. And what I wanted to do with this video is I wanted to show you guys what I've been buying from Bam. I posted the video on Friday around midday breaking down why I thought Bam was a very, very good investment. I felt he was very undervalued. And I posted that video on Friday. And the reason why I posted it when I did is because I felt like with back to back against the Lakers and the Mavericks, that he would had an opportunity to get a lot more attention in front of a national audience if he had a big game. And while he didn't really have a big game on Friday, he played okay. He played decent, but he didn't have a huge game by any means. On Saturday, he posted his second triple-double in 3 games. And then today, which is Monday, I'm shooting this on Monday night, but around midday Monday, he got announced as the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I believe over the course of the week, he averaged over 20 points, over 11 rebounds, and over 8 assists. So he put up some really, really good numbers, and he's actually been putting up some pretty good numbers for the last few games. Even on the games where he hasn't posted a triple double, I think he's got like 4 or 5 straight games with a double double, which is really good. And let's just remember, this guy's 22, and this is the first time he's got in his career that he's gotten major minutes. So he's definitely handling the minute load very, very well, and he's been playing progressively better. His usage rate has actually increased every month since the start of the season as well. And what that tells us is that he's becoming more involved in the offense, and his scoring averages should be going up because he's using more possessions. Now, another interesting stat that I ran across with Bam was there's this thing called real plus minus. It's a stat that basically quantifies a player's positive and negative impact on his team. So obviously, if you have a higher plus minus, then you're having a better impact on your team. And Bam, at 22 years old, thus far in the season, actually leads all centers in that stat. And he also leads all centers in value over replacement, I believe. And if you go onto ESPN and you search real plus minus NBA, they'll take you to a page where it shows the real plus minus, and it shows the stat next to it, I believe, is value over replacement. But he's number one in both of those. He's ahead of guys such as Karl Anthony Towns and Nikola Jokic. And those guys entered the NBA this NBA season with some MVP talk. And based off of that stat, Bam's actually been performing better than them. So, with the NBA giving that free preview of League Pass, I've actually gotten to watch a couple of the games. I saw the Lakers game, I saw the Mavericks game, and I just recently finished up the Grizzlies game. I had some other things to do, so I started watching it a little bit late. And sometimes when you watch the games, you actually learn a lot. And a couple things that I learned was that Bam, as a center, brings the ball up the court pretty frequently. And that's important because he's got the ball in his hands and he looks pretty natural dribbling the basketball, which gives us an idea that there might be potential for him to become more of a primary ball handler as well. So that's big, because in order for Bam to really cross that threshold into becoming a superstar, he's going to need to score more points. He's a phenomenal defender. He's a great rebounder, and he's developed into a really good passer. But he's got to create. He's got to do a better job at creating his own shot. That's an area that he can improve on. And remember, he's only 22 years old, and given the organization that he's in and how hard he works, that's very, very likely that he'll do that. And as you can see, I expect him to do that. Hence the large investment in his cards. Another thing to take into account, and something that I learned watching this, is him and Jimmy Butler have really, really good chemistry. They play a two-man game very well. And that's valuable because Miami doesn't have a true point guard on the court most of the time. They function, I think, with a starting lineup of Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Bam, and Myers Leonard. So the only true point guard that gets regular minutes, I think, is Goran Dragic, and he's been hurt the last couple games. So the facilitating duties seem to be split between Bam and Jimmy Butler, and then Kendrick Nunn does some ball handling too, but he's more of a scorer. But the main facilitating duties, in terms of like running and initiating the offense, seem to be split between Bam and Jimmy Butler. At least that's what I saw watching the games. So again, that's big because the more opportunity he gets with the ball in his hands, the more opportunity he has to put up stats, like put up assists and points and things like that. So excuse my socks in the picture. So that's gonna do it for this video. I wanted to show you guys my personal collection and let you know and show you guys that I have been investing pretty heavily in Bam. One of the reasons why is, or the primary reason is the price of the card combined with the potential of the player. I felt like made these cards a really, really good value. Excluding the autographed cards, a lot of these cards I got for between 50 cents and $1.50 per card, and that's after shipping. I bought these in a lot of lots, and the reason why I did that is because you're going to pay $4 in shipping whether you buy one card or you buy 20. So if you can figure out a way to get a hold of multiple cards in the same purchase, then it can drive the cost of shipping per card down. So there are risks associated with buying lots, and one of them being that it's hard to see the exact condition of every single card. But I think to combat that, what I've done is when I'm looked into buying lots, I've looked into buying from sellers that had a pretty good reputation and a lot of positive feedback. Another thing that you guys can't see, there's an optic holo in there. There's this card up here. It's kind of hard to see because of the light. I chose lack of lighting over having a constant glare, but this card that I'm kind of zooming in right now, that's actually a select silver. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see with the lack of light. And then I believe it's one of these three. That's the optic holo. Oh, there it is. There's the optic holo. You can kind of see it kind of glimmering right there next to the two blue velocities. So another thing you guys will notice is if you don't count the autos, there's a lot of prisms and optics, and those are the sets that I feel like will do best over the long term. And there's a couple of selects as well, and I think selects like if I were to rank them, prism right now, optic and then select would be like my third choice in terms of just base rookie cards and refractors. But things can change, right? Like optic got pretty big after after this season started. It went up quite a bit. It really just depends on the pulse of the market. So that's something to keep an eye on and be aware of any sort of large scale market shifts like that. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just wanted to show you guys some of my personal collection of Bam and give you guys a little bit of a further breakdown as to why I think he's going to be a really good player. He did just win Eastern Conference Player of the Week, so that's a good start. I think he's got a real chance of being an All-Star. If not this year, then definitely next year. And I do expect him to find his way onto an all-defensive team. There's not too many centers that can guard positions 1 through 5. So And I think if as long as he improves on his scoring and his ability to create his own shot, I think we've got a potential superstar on our hands. So thanks for watching the video, guys. The lessons from Giannis video is coming, but I've been pretty busy, so I'll do my best to shoot that in the next few days, and we can take a look at some of the characteristics that Giannis had and why he got overlooked, and figure out a way that we can apply that to some of the current players. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good rest of your night and enjoy the rest of the week as well.